Hey everyone, why do I always start it out like that? Because I want to say hello to you. It is one of my favorite days of the week. I know I say that too all the time, but I get the opportunity to interview amazing superstar entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners every Wednesday. And it's seriously a highlight of my week. And today I have a special person that I can't wait to introduce to you. Leigh-Leigh, say hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm Leigh-Leigh Kossman.
Thank you so much for joining me. I have, I don't like, we were kind of chit chatting about how we know each other, and we were on the same team of a direct sales company way back a few years ago. But we've been connected on socials and kind of cheering each other on in our journeys outside of the direct sales company. And so I'm really excited to have you here to learn more about your business. Will you please share with everybody what you do, Leigh-Leigh?
Yes, absolutely. I am a life coach, and I help people who are in a place of being stuck or a place of transition, and especially moms and spiritual moms, because as a mom, our life is in a constant state of transition. Just with every stage of a kid's growth, mom is growing and changing with the kid or kids. And I found myself in that position. Our oldest daughter was in college, and our twins, who are 5 years younger, were working their way through high school. And all of a sudden I panicked, and I was like, okay, God, what is next for me? Like, they're my everything. And granted, I had other things that I was doing, but I knew that once they left, I would want to be doing something that was even more fulfilling. And I think perhaps the Holy Spirit puts that in your gut. Like, there's more, keep going. I have something else for you. So that's my specialty, is for moms who are in transition. But I also have to say that as a life coach, I have coached people of all ages. I have coached people around the world, and I have coached people with a myriad of situations, quite a few in business transitions as well, men and women. So kind of runs the gamut. I certainly do not ever say to someone, no, I can't coach you unless it's something for a therapist, because there is a difference between coaching and therapy.
Yeah, so I was actually going to ask that. Can you explain that difference? Why I should hire a life coach versus going to a therapist?
Yes, absolutely. So coaching differs in that therapy takes you from a place of suffering to baseline, and coaching brings you from baseline up and forward and achieving your goals. Therapy also takes a pardon.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something. Sorry. Coaching also, or therapy also, takes quite a bit of a look in the background of your life, and why are you here? Why are you suffering? Why are things the way they are? And coaching really is a forward focused thing. It's future visioning. It's, yes, we look at where we are today, but we look at, where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what is standing in your way? And we may look at the past to say, okay, in a situation that was similar, what did you do? What brought success in a situation that was like this situation, even though it's not the same? And then we look for parallels and things that we can bring into our current situation so that we can move forward. It's very forward focused.
I love that. I love that thought process. I love the asking of questions. So why would someone choose to work with you over another life coach? Like, what differentiates yourself from Sally, the life coach?
I think we all have our specialties, which, like, for instance, if someone has experienced really deep trauma and maybe they haven't seen a therapist, that might be one of the first things I would ask. And I have to say that as well, that there have been times with my clients where we reach a point, and I'm not afraid to ask it, where I say, do you need therapy around this? This is a deeper issue, or in the instance of trauma, maybe it's a trauma that I wasn't aware of, but that we've circled around to, uncovered. And then I am very free to say to my clients, I think someone can help you on a deeper level than what I'm able to help. Now, back to your question about different coaches. I would hope that every single coach that you would interface with is a helper and someone who genuinely loves people. I don't know that they all are, though, because I don't know, but I will tell you that I am, that God called me to this place. God called me to this position, and everything in my life has lined up to this spot and to this moment. And even to the point that when God called me to it, there were steps. It wasn't like, boom, you're a life coach. Just go.
Right.
And no, there were definite steps. I was listening to God's voice and God's direction. So I can promise you that you are special, that God loves you, that you are unique, that you have gifts and talents that the world is waiting to experience. And I promise you that I will be your greatest cheerleader. I will be your biggest supporter. I will be your best listener. I promise. And I will ask you questions, even when they're hard, and we'll get through it together. I also promise a ton of fun.
Absolutely. And we'll share her social later, but she is very inspirational and very true on everything that she just spoke. I love what you've been doing recently, and I wanted to talk about that because I believe in daily gratitude, and you've been doing daily gratitude posts and sharing them with people and prompting, hey, what are you grateful for today? Tell me a little bit about your reasoning for, one, doing those gratitudes, daily gratitudes, and two, posting about it.
Yeah, thanks. I would love to tell you. Okay, so after God called me to life coaching, my first step was to go get some good education, because life coaching is not a regulated field like therapy is, at least at present. And
Right.
so, that's another thing people should look into as well, as when they're looking at a coach, is what has their training been? What is their education? Because you do want someone who, while they might have had life experience, coaching is a very specific way of listening and questioning. It's deeper than you might think, and there's a lot behind it. So at any rate, God directed me to graduate school and to study positive psychology, which dovetails very well with life coaching. So I was at Mizzou doing online graduate certification in positive psychology. In one of my courses, I was studying gratitude, and there's a famous gratitude scientist named Robert Emmons. He's written a lot of books about gratitude. And the cool thing about positive psychology is that it is a field that is scientific. So all of these things about positive emotion, positive thought, positive mindset, gratitude, all these things are definitely measured in science and proven. They're not just fluffy things, they're real. So
I love that you just pointed that out, because there are a lot of people that believe that it's all fluff, and I love that you pointed out that there's scientific backing behind it. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you. When you said that, I just got goosebumps, and goosebumps are my definite God sign. That's called affirmation to me. So that tells me that God's saying, you're on the right track. Keep going, to both of us. You're disseminating the right info. So I was reading this book called Gratitude Works by Robert Emmons. And in the book, he talked about a woman who wrote to him, who was keeping a gratitude list because he inspired her. And at that time, she had 837 gratitudes with no repeats. And I'm a little bit competitive with myself, because I don't know this lady, and I don't know Robert Emmons, but I was like, okay, I can do that. I'm a very grateful, thankful person, and count my blessings just in huge ways. So I decided I was going to have a gratitude practice. So our oldest daughter was out of college at the time. So I knew she would have maybe more time than the twins, who were like busy in school, how you get focused in a direction. So I said to our oldest daughter, would you like to be my accountability partner? And every day I'm going to send you a gratitude. And she said, yes. So I'm going to show you actually how it started. So on May 13th of 2019, I started writing down, let's see if I can get this in there. my
Oh,
gratitude
wow.
practice. So you can see that like kitties, eyesight, all kinds of sort of person, places, and things is how it sort of started. Well, after a point, you kind of run out of nouns. And so you have to look a little bit deeper at what you're thankful for and why you're thankful for it. And most definitely because we don't want repeats. So we have to dig a little deeper and see what the situations are holding and give thanks. The cool thing is this. Look at what develops. Can you
Yeah.
see all that paper? Like there's no white space. There's just a huge amount of gratitude and for deep, like I run out of space on the lines because they're not deep enough.
I love
So
that.
on May 28th of this year, I had accumulated 1,111 gratitudes.
I
And
love
now
the number.
we're way past the 837 of that lady. I got her beat. And then I just kept going. And the reason that I did take that count is that 11 is a very spiritual number.
Yeah.
So 11 is a double. That's a really good, really good day. And I just keep going. I must confess, I had 2 repeats. I guess some things bear repeating. It was in the beginning. One was hand cream. I must have been doing that in the winter. And the other one was leopard print. So I did have 2 repeats. So I had the gratitude practice, and I was talking with a fellow coach about what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, it was my business coach who I do one-on-one coaching. She coaches me for my entrepreneurial business. And we were talking about how should I show up on social media, because I'm not as adept at it as kids are. I'm older than my kids, older than lots of young people. So we were just talking about, different things. And somehow the conversation evolved into my daily gratitude list. And then she said, you need to share that. You need to start putting that up. So actually what I've done is from that point, whatever my daily gratitudes are that I share with our daughter, I post a little note of it online. So, it's not really more work. It's just sharing that gratitude. So, and then I get to show up on social media, and hopefully people are seeing me. And I think the other thing in that too is that when you coach with someone, you need to have a fit, and you need to be with someone who is like-minded and someone who has the same values and type of I don't want to say, just the same values, the same compass. And so I'm hoping that the people who are looking at me online see my true heart.
Yeah. And I noticed it, and I get excited when I see it, and I read them, and I kind of chuckle a little bit because they're fun. And I love that you shared your whole journal of them, because you started out so simple, and now it's progressed. And I think what that shows is that you're getting deeper in your gratitude, right?
Yeah.
Obviously we can be thankful and grateful that we have lights, that we have food, that we have our furry friends or whatever. But now if you go to her social and you see, some of the things, it's you have grown from it. And so I don't know the gentleman that you're speaking of, but one of my go-to people for the marketing world is Gary Vee. And
Heard of him? Yeah.
he talks a lot about, more recently, having that gratitude. Like, he wakes up and he checks his phone, and if nobody died overnight, he's going to have a great day. Like, he's just so grateful for everything from that point on. And many years ago, I had a friend give me just a notebook, a regular notebook, and she made it into a gratitude journal. She said she saw something from Oprah Winfrey that talked about, writing down your daily gratitudes. And unfortunately, I didn't stick to the habit, but when you do write them down, it sinks a little bit differently than just maybe saying them out loud, right? And when we go through rough things as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small businesses, you know, you're going through these rough times, but man, if you could just step back and every day think of something that you're grateful for in your business, things will really start to turn around. Your perspective changes. So I love that you're doing that, and I love that a coach has a coach, which just tells everybody that's watching, whether live now or on the replay, that a coach, no matter who you are, is important in your business strategy. So whether it's a life coach or a business coach or a fitness coach, I mean, there are places in our lives for people like you, and even you're not above having somebody to help you grow your business. So that just, for me, that's a solid, that's a big thumbs up. So super cool. So you spoke about the book about the gratitude. What other great book has really had an impact on whether it was you choosing to do the life coaching or just in business in general? Can you share maybe a favorite book that's had an impact on you?
Sure. There's a book by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and it's called The Power of Positive Thinking. And it was written back in the 50s. This man was a minister. He's deceased now, but he was a minister. And what he did was he brought the Bible and Christianity together with the law of attraction. And so basically, yeah, I mean, it's loaded, and he doesn't call it the law of attraction, but that's what it is. It has to do with your mindset. It has to do with your energy and your focus and your perception on things. And basically what the law of attraction is it's a spiritual practice, and it sort of is like karma. I mean, that's only a part of it, but basically what you put out is what's going to come back to you. So maybe you guys have had this experience where you wake up in the morning and your alarm didn't go off and you're late for work. You jump out of bed, you stub your toe. You get ready, get in the car, and then you get stuck in traffic. And then you finally get to work and realize that you're late for a meeting. And then you spill your coffee on yourself. So that has to do with frequency and energy. And while it wasn't a conscious thing that you were stuck in that negative space and that low frequency energy, it was in your subconscious mind, which I say runs like a ticker tape in your head all day long, your subconscious mind. And so law of attraction has a lot to do with your subconscious mind. So in a situation like that, what you can learn to do, we can train our brain. I could go on forever. Okay, so our brain has neuroplasticity, which is a newer finding in neuroscience. So what that means is we can change our brain. Our thoughts travel down these pathways that they're used to going down. So if it's a negative path, whether it's conscious or subconscious, your thoughts are going to automatically just go down that well-worn path. Think about like from a grassy area into a forest, and you're always going down that same path. You're going to wear down into the dirt. Pretty soon you're going to get a trench, and without your even thinking about it, boom, your thought is right down that path. But because we can be conscious of what we're thinking, we can focus on something else, we can change direction. Our brains have neuroplasticity. There's also a saying, neurons that fire together wired together. Yep. So the signals in your brains, as the messages are coming in and they're talking to each other, the more they do the same, the more you have the same kind of thoughts, those are going to wire, and those are going to take you down that well-worn path. But if you're conscious of what you're focusing on, and you know that you can change that focus to a positive aspect or a positive thought, you can literally begin to change your brain so that by second nature, you're going down the positive path. You're not going down the negative path. So let's say you wake up and, you wake up late, the alarm didn't wake you up, and you wake up and you're in a panic. If you get in the habit of going, okay, 3 deep breaths, I woke up today, and like Gary Vee, nobody died. That's not on my phone. So I'm going to have a good day today. And then you can change the direction of your morning. It wasn't that you intentionally brought those things, but we are energy. We are balls of energy. That's all we are. And so if you're operating in a very low frequency, that is what you will attract. What you focus on grows. And where your attention goes, energy flows. So you want to move it
Yes.
up, be positive. So
I love
did I
that.
answer your question? I can't remember if
Yes. Yes. The Power of Positivity was the book.
the power of positive thinking.
About positive thinking. Yep.
Power of Positive, Dr. Norman Heal. Yes, it's fabulous. And I really like it because as a Christian, many Christians are brought up in with very conservative spiritual views. And
Yep.
as I have gained life experience, and I've actually beat death 4 times, literally.
Oh, wow.
The first time was my own birth, which I don't remember. And the next 3 times in my adult life, all kind of stemming around childbirth and pregnancy things.
Oh,
So
isn't that
I
something?
remember it. I had 2 out-of-body experiences. I by medical numbers, should have been dead. So in my life, I have gained a little different, like, spiritual perspective. And, I would hope that all of us, as we grow, like you said, we can all use a coach. None of us know everything. And so we can learn and grow. We can broaden our scope and we can take in a little more. And even
Yep.
if it challenges our conventional views, like the conservative spiritual views that I grew up with, I'm pushing the limits, So I love the law of attraction. I love that all that it brings. And I will tell you that in my life, it's real. I mean, it works. It works. So you just have to open yourself, open your mind, and begin to just practice it little by little. And then once you start to see those positive results and those wins, you can really bring it on.
Yep. And then it encourages you to keep thinking that way.
Exactly. And yes, and form that new pathway in your brain.
Yep, yep. So we have a comment from a friend that says, I love the original movie, The Secret. It talks about the same thing. It is the law of attraction. So yes, and that is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it on YouTube. So look at that. I don't even know if it's on Netflix anymore, but I know it's on YouTube. I On that point, I wanted to just comment that so when I'm running late or behind schedule and I run into a lot of traffic, I, instead of getting ticked off and frustrated, I totally tell myself there's a reason these cars are going slow and I'll just go with the flow because I've had a horrific car accident and I've realized that life is precious and I just know that there's a reason that one, I was running behind, and two, now all these people are going slow. So I'm not going to push it. I'm not pushing the limits. I'm just like, it is what it is. Whoever I'm going to see, I'll apologize that I'm late. They know that I'm usually not late and that I ran into traffic and at the end of the day, nobody cares that you might be a few minutes late, especially if you're, normally on time, right?
Amen.
And,
Cindy,
and
thanks for sharing that and saying that, because you're absolutely right.
it's
And
just,
nothing is worth having an accident or, getting.
but I feel like on your point is reframing what
Yes.
I'm going through, right? Because
Yep.
most people will start getting ticked off or they'll start swerving or trying to race. No, there's a reason. I don't know what it is, but something is telling me I don't need to go there now.
Right.
And I just believe it. And so, yes, awesome. I have one more question. We're getting towards the end. See, I told you how super fast this goes.
It does. So fun.
If somebody was really interested in taking the path of becoming a life coach, what advice would you give them, or what would you share with them that they must do or must think about before taking that leap?
Thank you for asking that. Number 1, believe in yourself. If you have that burning in your gut, or even if it's just a slight inclination, go with it. Learn about it, find out about it. There's a reason that you thought about it, or someone told you, oh, you should be a coach. I encourage you, please go do that. There are so many people in this world, so many people who need help and need someone to listen. And there can't be enough of us coaches. So it's not a competitive field in that one more person in the pool is going to take someone's clients. No, because every single person has something unique to offer. So if you come and coach with me, the flavor is going to be different than if you go and coach with someone else. And that's good. We need to be matched up, like I said earlier, with someone who we can relate to and we share the same values and thoughts about, what do I want to say? I don't know, just that you got to have a fit. So number one, if you're feeling it, go for it. Number two, I would suggest looking at coaching schools and or considering some higher education, because you do want to be there for your people. I wanted what I would say good paper. I wanted to know personally that I was prepared, and I want the people who come to me to know this is not just a whim. That I have studied this and I have trained for this. I've actually gone through 2 different trainings, one on a preliminary level and one with the International Coaching Federation. So, which is sort of, there's not really a governing body, but they kind of set the gold standard, for coaches. So at any rate, get some education. You can always reach out to me. Absolutely. If you want to know more about my journey, I would love to help you. I would love to encourage you to share your gifts, because like I said, there are people waiting to hear from you in your own flavor.
I love that. And that honestly is great advice, regardless if you want to go into coaching or not. If you are thinking about a business, you have this idea, go for it. Like if it's in your being, like there's a reason that it's there. So the worst case scenario is it doesn't work out, but you won't know until you try it. And I love the fact that, education is important to you and has been important to you for your business. And just like any other business, the more information you have, the better you are to be able to serve your clients that you want to serve. So it is at the end of the show, and I am going to pass it off to you to promote yourself. However, how can people find you? The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to say thank you to you, Cindy. You are a wonderful interviewer, and you're so sweet and such a delight. And thank you for all you do for entrepreneurs. It's really so helpful and generous of you, and thank you. I also want to shout out to my business coach, who is Michelle Rebel. You can find her on social. And my website is on Facebook. Yes, I see you've got up there, Leigh-Leigh Kossman Coaching. And on Instagram, I'm Leigh-Leigh_Kossman. And I have a fast website that you can get to that points you to one that's longer in letters. So I'll give you the fast one, which is llkcoaching.com. llkcoaching.com. I'm also a motivational speaker, and I tailor my message to the audiences, talking about all things positive psychology and life coaching, so I can do it to broader audiences. I do workshops, I do online, in person, and I guess that's it. Yeah. So any variety of however you want to do it, and whomever you want me to help talk to, I'm good at tailoring that to your needs.
Wonderful.
And of course, one-on-one coaching. I don't want to forget
So do you have a one-on-one coaching? Do you have a group coaching? Do you have a private what kind of coaching programs do you offer?
One-on-one private coaching with different lengths. So that's something that we talk about. We talk about your needs and what might make sense for you. So different types of lengths of coaching, but it's once a week for an hour, regardless of which length of package you choose. So we get her done. We want you to reach those goals and fulfill your own dreams too.
And again, recap the specific audience that you love to cater to.
Well, the one I have the most in common with would be a spiritual mom in transition. And as you know, moms, we are always in transition.
Yes, I just added 2 more children to my family. So it's, and I will tell you that it's no easy feat to, add to that dynamic of the family. And the great thing is we have great kids who are loving and accepting, and everybody gets along. So we've got that going for us, but it's still challenging. We've got hormones, we've got everything, girl, boy, there, multiple ranges of ages. So yes, it's tough.
Well, congratulations for on that. That's wonderful. I'm so happy for you, Cindy.
Thank you. And thank you again. We are at the 30-minute mark, and I really like to stick to that because we're all super busy. It's been a pleasure, Leigh-Leigh. I appreciate you sharing all your wonderful knowledge and information. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Whether you watched it live or on the replay, let us know. And make sure you follow Leigh-Leigh or check her out on her website. And we will see you next week. Bye
Thanks,
for
Cindy.
now.
Bye.